there is one very, very important thing we have to address if we're going to address finding our voice and speaking, and that is the importance of listening. And I want you to just think listening, but also seeing, because seeing is a form of listening. We'll get to that in a moment. But we're not taught to listen. Instead, we're bombarded with sound. And it's not just audible sound, of course. It's vibratory energy, which is sound. And that impacts and impedes our ability to hear energetically. So there are all these different ways that we need to realign our listening. We've got all this stuff coming at us. It's words and it's vibration. So when we're in a Wi-Fi zone, we're being bombarded with this energy, which is causing our body to get clogged and cluttered, unable to listen to, unable to hear life. So it's like the signal gets scrambled. A lot of scrambling going on with all of this. So we need to recognize that we've been bombarded with all of this. So we can't, in order to speak truth, we need to hear truth, and we need to get to that. We need to get beyond the incoherence to hear the real truth, because that the incoherence is what's scrambling our ability to hear the real truth. And then we have to discern between the two. So we need to be able to say, well, this is the incoherence that comes from culture, that comes from all the things that culture is doing, and all that paradigm of falseness. And then in the same moment, simultaneously, there is the hum of life. And I need to make sure I can hear that and be connected with that. I need to manage culture, like I need to render. We're gonna talk about in the Q&A. We're gonna talk about financial stuff. So actually, I'm not gonna jump ahead. I'm gonna get myself distracted. Okay. So we need to learn the importance. We need to not only learn the importance of listening, but sorry, I'm getting so ahead of myself. Too excited about this topic. We need to make sure that there is listening and there is speaking, and that they are both in alignment with power. Listening is the female energy. It's the receptive. And speaking is the male energy. It's the radiant. It's it's directional. It goes out into the world. So female is hearing, receptivity, and if we have to go back to the concept of what equality is, and equality creates balance, and balance is not calmness. Balance is the hum, the vibration of life. So we want equal receptivity, equal listening ability, female energy, and equal speaking, radiant force energy, which is the male. And when we have these equally, and they're both strong, what you have is the pulse of life, and that is strong. It's going to be as strong as your strength from both of those things. So the more you access the hum of life, and the more you speak from the hum of life, the more you're going to grow that soul, the more you're going to grow the hum of life. It's awesome. Okay. And I just want to add seeing, because seeing is also largely receptive, unless, so when we see, we're taking in information. There's a way, though, that seeing isn't receptive, in which it's actually male, and that is when you have a vision. So of your vision for your future, for yourself, for this embodiment of life, this is the male energy at work. It's not about girl boy. Okay, it's not men are better than women, and women are like going to just receive, and men. It's not like that. It's the actual polarities of life. It's how life works. So don't let yourself get caught up in that. But so when we see, normally we're looking out into the world and we're seeing what we see. That's receptive, and we're taking in information, and we can see beyond appearances, which is so important. So we want to be able to see beyond culture and see why culture is the way it is, but also see life and how life works. So we need to be able to see those things simultaneously, and then we start to create vision. Vision is that male energy. But if we're only hearing chaos, we're only going to be able to speak chaos. We will be able to put out what we receive. So we need to start to stop receiving the chaos, start receiving the order, and then put out order. And I know I know you're going to live in Wi-Fi zones and all these things. Again, it's like coherence, canceling out incoherence. The real hum, if you can make sure you're staying connected with that, it will cancel out the incoherent hum. Not to say that you can saturate yourself and swim in a sea of radiation and be okay with that. You won't. But you will be able to get away with a lot of it. And the truth is that the more you align with the natural hum, the hum of life, the more you're going to want to be away from those areas. And don't stress. Life will align you. Don't think, how am I going to get there? Do I need to move to Costa Rica? Do I need to quit my job? Do I need to go and become a yoga instructor and just put my feet in the mud? Don't worry about that. Let your destiny work for you. Let it be elegant. If you're overthinking the mind, then that's you being out of sync and pulling out old belief systems and how belief systems work, which is not actually how life works. Life is magical. Life will figure it out. Life will put it all together. You just do your work of aligning with it all. You do your work of growing your soul, and it will all come together.